And we are live. We are going to go through the process basically from start to finish. I'm going to show you what I do with my designs, and then I'm going to show you how to find an audience, and then I'm going to show you how to apply that in a Facebook ad. Okay, I believe that everybody else can hear me. Let's just have another confirmation. Somebody cannot hear me. Is my audio okay? Okay, well that has to be on your end then if you can't hear me. We will get started. Very first step, I made mention of this last night, and I am going to show everyone how it works from the beginning. First of all, I sent off a request to my designer, and I asked the designer to come up with 4 different variations of one ad. I then made a post, and of course this is a very large post, but I thought if people clicked on it, it would give them a nice large view. So anyway, this is just a regular page post engagement. So I just made a post on my fan page, and I put at the top, we're releasing a new t-shirt, please help us select the best design. Comment below with 1, 2, 3, or 4. We appreciate your feedback. Now, as you can see, I had 136 comments. I explained a little bit about this last night, but I'm going to go for it again. We're going to take a look, and you're going to see that when these 136 people voted, you're going to be able to see that number 4 was the clear winner. The more we scroll down, the more 4s you're going to see. There's some 1s in there, but as you can see on this screen here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 9 selected graphic number or design number 4. So what I had now was what I thought was the most popular design. But what I really wanted to get was the design that had the most commercial value. So what I did is I replied to all of these comments, and I let them know that, thanks for voting. Number 4 was the clear winner, but we're going to make all 4 t-shirts available only to the people who left a comment on the thread. And I put a link in there. And I let everyone know that the t-shirts were going to be basically even below cost or at cost, and I put them up for $7.95 or $9.95, just enough to break even. Now, you would think that number 4, being the most popular, would be the one that everybody would buy. As it turned out, number 4 did not have as much commercial value as graphic number 1, because when I offered it for sale, number 1 outsold all of the other 3 designs, even though number 4 was the most popular. So first of all, it's really important not to confuse popularity with commercial value. Now, as you can see, this is copyright infringement. I mean, I guess it is. I mean, it's using Harley-Davidson, a trademark name. I had no intention of selling this t-shirt publicly. All I wanted to do was get this in front of people to find out which design was the best. Once I had the right design, I was then able to use that design and scale up to multiple niches with that design. Had no real interest in releasing anything with Harley, but this is the type of thing that I did release. I thought that Harley riders were more of the aggressive, rough, tough people, and so would the people be who loved football, NCAA, NFL. And of course, any other sport, anything that you like, you could use this to, anything you could use this design for. I knew that this design had commercial value. And it was really easy to put this design into all kinds of other niches. And as it turned out, this one sold extremely well. Now, I'm going to go back here. Now, do we have any questions about determining the commercial value? I only spent about $10 on this. I did not spend very much, and I knew that this was a heavily engaged crowd, so I would get some decent feedback for my dollars. I was really hoping for 100. I ended up getting 136. I just watched a video. Do you use survey software? No, actually, just to go over this again, this is just a graphic that I put in my on my fan page, and all I did was put that simple question at the top: we're releasing a t-shirt, please vote. There's no software there, they just left a comment. All I needed to see were the comments, and then I replied to the comments, and I was able then to see how many t-shirts I sold. Like I said, out of 136 comments, I ended up selling 14 t-shirts, so I knew that I had a commercially viable design. Just watched a video on this, and I do the same thing, get votes but currently in groups, and your idea is way better to your targeted audience. Yeah, remember the demographics for myself pretty much always stay the same. And if I'm going to release this back to the Harley crowd but change it up a little bit, maybe it would just be an awesome women design in front of the Harley riders or whoever. All I really cared about was, you know, the commercial value in the design. My demographics are always, pretty much always the same. So as long as I kept the demographics there and I had this design, I would imagine that most people that were female, age 35 to 55, would appreciate the same type of a graphic, especially in the rough, tough sports. I don't know how this would do in darts, but hey, I guess that could be a rough sport. You never know if you drop a dart. Okay, yeah, page post engagement ad. That is correct. It's just an image put on the fan page with a link above it. That just, or no link above it. I mean, it's just got the text above it that says comment below. How did you get away using Seminoles football? Is that copyright as well? I guess it could be. I mean, they might make the argument. If they sent me a cease and desist, I probably would cease and desist. But I never had any issues with it, so I use Seminoles football. You could have put in there Florida football. Would make no difference. I think it would sell well either way. You can say Florida football, but not Seminoles. Yeah, okay. Well, if a lawyer gets in touch with me with that argument, I'll buy it. Until then, I'll just keep running it. But I do thank you for your input, and I do agree that Florida football might be a better term to use than Seminoles football. $10 on votes to pick the winner, but I'm a little lost how you sold them. Well, right down here, you can actually write a reply to their comment. So it was real easy. I just gave them a link to a place where they could go and have their choice of these 4 shirts. All you have to do is set up a little landing page where they could go and buy any one of these 4 t-shirts. Whatever you're using as a landing page, you would just plug in 4 t-shirts and put a link on there so that they could click and go and buy. Okay, I hope there'd be a replay of this webinar. I can't hear you. Well, there will be a replay, and hopefully you'll be able to hear me then. You sell to people who comment, but how? Well, let me try and explain this one a little bit more clear. I make an image. I ask them to comment on which one they think is the best. They comment below. I then reply to their comment and tell them that number 4 was a clear winner, but we want to make sure that all 4 t-shirts are made available to everyone who commented in this thread. Here's a link We're selling them at cost just for the people in the thread. Please go here to make your purchase. They're only $7.95. Okay, so hopefully that answers that question. Happened to me, okay. Well, there you go. I'm imagining that that means the copyright or trademark infringement, the cease and desist. If you get one, good thing to cease and desist. If he logs out, logs back in, he might be able to hear you. Do you target mobile users? This one I did desktop only. You know, it was simple enough, it was easy enough. I just wanted to get people to comment, and desktop worked just fine. So just about all of my marketing that I do is on desktop. I do very little to zero ads to mobile. Okay. Do I use the right column? No, I don't use the right column at all. I just went newsfeed desktop only, and that was it. Okay, it was a reply. Okay, I think what they're asking is, what platform are you using to sell so few t-shirts? Well, here's what I want to do. I want to stick to my focus, because you can use any platform that you choose, and I really don't want to get into platforms and how I'm doing that, because it will be a much lengthier conversation. I really want to just stay focused and be happy to answer your questions in regards to what we're looking at here, but I really don't want to get too far away from what we're looking at. So a Teespring store would be ideal for this. I guess it could be. I don't use Teespring, but I'm not even familiar with the Teespring store. I'm not a fan of Teespring. So what is your cost per thousand? I use desktop news feeds, but the CPM is very high. I went optimized CPM on this. And once we get to the next step where we're going to build or find our audience and then create our ad, hopefully that's going to become a little bit more clear on how to get your costs down. You should be able to get your costs way down when you use My Simple System without any software. Now, before we get any farther, just so that everybody knows, there is no sales pitch in this call. There's no sales pitch at the end of this call. There's nothing that I'm selling, and there's nothing that you're going to need to buy. Everything that I'm going to show you, you can do for free, or not free. I mean, you might have to pay for an ad, but you're not going to have to buy any fancy pieces of software to make this work. Okay. What do you use to print shirts, and what is the purpose of this if you're not going to tell what you are actually doing? The purpose of this call is to show you how I find commercial value, and I'll just summarize it again. The purpose of this call is to show you how I find commercial value, how I do my targeting, and how I set up an ad. Those are the 3 points that I'm covering. And hopefully those 3 points, you find some value in that. And if you can't find any value in it, then there's not much that I can do. I really need to stay focused on this. Oh, somebody wanted to buy something. Oh, that is awesome. Well, you're going to be out of luck tonight. You can always go and buy something from the Warrior Forum if you like. They've got a lot of $7 items there that'll promise to tell you how to make $1 million selling t-shirts. Okay, only desktop newsfeed, yes. Other name marketers say mobile is better. Well, you know, it is possible. They may know better than me. I do my thing, they do their thing, and it could be quite possible that they are much better at it than I am. You know, you might have to test it yourself, or if you have confidence in them, you could just follow along with their direction. I'm not here to compete with anyone or put anyone else down. I'm just here to tell you how I sell my t-shirts. I will tell you that I sell my t-shirts every day. My ads only run for 4 hours. They run from 10 a.m. Eastern Time until 2 p.m. Eastern Time. That's a total of 4 hours a day. The rest of the day I do not run my ads. The reason for this is that I try and make my ads as profitable, my campaigns as profitable as I can. I do sell some in the evenings sometimes, and you can test that out. I would imagine that maybe sometimes you'll get good conversions in the evening. In general, I don't. So I only run mine for 4 hours a day. I boost my daily budget, but it only goes for 4 hours, so I don't spend very much. Total ad cost, I never go over $20 a day on an ad. I actually really prefer $10. Mobile is better on some platforms as they have mobile optimized sites, pages, example Teespring, but maybe your platform is not. No, actually my platform is perfectly mobilized. For me, it's a matter of conversion. Once again, like I said, they might know more than me, and I could just be taking a wild stab in the dark at this one. But from my experience, desktop only, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., that's when I run my ads. Okay, you do what works. Yeah, that's right. I do what works for me because I've spent a lot of money doing t-shirt ads and running t-shirt campaigns over the last 15 months. I have sold a substantial number of t-shirts, and I've just found that for my demographic, they buy most of their items in the morning. Actually, the perfect time is 11 a.m. Eastern Time. The 1 hour before lunchtime is where I get the bulk of my sales. Certain days of the week that you pause the ads. Well, let me tell you, I hate Saturdays and Sundays. You know, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, but I'm always very cautious on Saturday and Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I am very happy. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Time, correct. That is only 4 hours a day. If I'm running a $20 budget, I'm only advertising for 1/6 of the day. So that means that I should only spend roughly about 1/6 of my ad budget. So 1/6 of $20 is going to cost me about $4, somewhere around $4, I would imagine. Okay, any other questions about the commercial value? What is a good audience size? We're going to go into that as we do our audience targeting, and I think we'll just jump right into that one. And we can do some Q&A there after we're done, but let's just fly right at it. We've already used up a bit of time. Let's do something. We're going to do, how about knitting, crocheting, quilting? Let's say we wanted to get an audience built for that. I'm just going to type it into Facebook and click on See More Results. I'm then going to click on Pages, and I'm going to look at some pages here and decide knittinghelp.com. That's about the right size. So it's showing 62,000. I'm just going to click on knittinghelp.com. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is click on the like button. When I click on the like button, I get more suggestions. Now, let's talk about more suggestions. What am I after? The smallest audience that I can build that still draws an interest in Facebook. And I'll show you what I mean, but I really struggle with going with numbers that are too big. I would rather spend a little bit of time. Remember, my targeting method's only going to take you 5 or maybe 10 minutes. I know people that spend hours finding the perfect audience. I just spend 5 or 10 minutes and I'm done. Now what I want is the smallest group possible that is extremely focused on the thing that I'm searching for: knitting, quilting, crocheting, sewing. So some of these, I'll actually click on the page to see what they're about. And this one here looks like it's pretty much about knitting, crocheting, sewing. It looks pretty good. I've never heard of this one, and I really like finding pages that don't have knitting, sewing, crocheting, or quilting in the title. That's not a necessity, but I do like it that way. So this one is Koigu. I don't know what that is, but I'm going to go right in here, and I'm going to set my buying audience. And once again, you know, you can target people that are younger. You can target people that are older. I've just found out over the last 15 months that my buyers come from this age group. Can't give you the reasons. I can just say, from my experience, this is where my buyers have come from. So United States, 35 to 55, I always sell to females. Even if it's a male shirt, I tend to still put it in front of the females and ask them to share it with a male or buy it for a male. I'm not sure what the people are like on this call. Actually, let's just do a quick test right here. Any males that are on the call, how many pieces of clothing have you bought on the internet yourself in the last 30 days? Let us know if you've made a 0, none, never, my wife does it. Okay, excellent. Anyone else? Any other males? We've got one person who bought a cap. I never, 0, 0, none. Wife does it. We've got one guy who bought something, but that is quite rare. Normally, if I ask that question, I normally get zeros. And there's another no that's popping up. So I buy tees all the time. Well, that's coming from the same guy who bought the hat. Okay, every once in a while you'll find a guy that buys, but in general the guys aren't the buyers. It's the females. I'd rather put a t-shirt in front of the females and, like I said, ask them to share it with the males or buy it for them. Okay, so let's take a look. You know, hopefully this makes sense why I'm not targeting males. Do a little bit of research, check with friends. You're going to find out that almost none of your friends that are males ever buy anything online. So I target females. Okay, so let's put in the interest here. And here it is right here. It does pull up an interest, so we'll enter this one. Give me an audience of 3,200. You know, that is just fine. I have no issue with that. Here's Cascade Yarns. Let's go and see if that pulls an interest. And there it is right there, 35,000. I'm now up to 12,000 people. And let's go and find some more. Nita has 30,000. That's good. And Pattern Works. Let's try Nita. And let's see if they're in here. Nita, please. That's not what we're looking for. Oh, maybe it is. I have no idea. Pattern Works. Let's go and try Pattern Works. That draws nothing. I don't worry if it doesn't draw anything. I'm going to find my audience here very, very quickly. 126,000, I don't want it. 1 million, I don't want it. 100,000, oh, unless I'm really desperate, I'm not going to touch those. I'm going to pick the smallest that I possibly can. Here's one that looks okay. Campaign for Wool. Let's give that one a try. And there it is. Yeah, there we go. We're at 14,000 people. And let's take a look. Knitting Universe. Let's go and check that one out. No, not there. Once again, I'm not worried if I don't find them. Okay, free patterns. Okay, so I'm now going to go into another one and see what I can pull up. I'm going to go into let's just try this one, Knit and Crochet Now. And let's click on like, and let's hit more suggestions, and let's see what we come up with. The Katie Brown Workshop, I really want to make sure that it's very, very focused. Simply Crochet, these are too large. Everybody's going to be finding them, everybody's going to be hitting them, and it's not going to deliver the results that I am after. If I hit one that is a dead end, I'll just go back here and I'll just pick another one. Crochet Magazine. Let's go in and like the Crochet Magazine, and let's hit more suggestions. Let's see what we get here. The Quilter Magazine, 105,000. That's right to pretty much pushing the limit. Let's see if we can find anything else in here. And I normally go through this really, really quickly. So let's just say that we take Sew News. Let's go and give that a try. 77,000. And here's Sew News. I'm now at 28,000. We haven't been going that long. I'll even try the Quilter Magazine. You know, you can spend a bit more time and find all of the small ones. Quilter Magazine, here it is. I'm now at 40,000 people, haven't spent that much time. Let's see if we can find another one. Let's go into the Quilter Magazine. Let's try this one. Let's see if we can hit some of the smaller ones. Designs in Machine Embroidery. C&T Publishing. What is this all about? Not interested. Let's take a look. Sew It All, 84,000. That's not bad. Preferably you get yourself down to the smaller ones, but Sew It All. Take off, I guess, from Know It All. And there it is right there. Now, I'm not going to go any farther. You know, you can definitely keep going with this. You know, you can click on each title, you can like the page, you can come down and see more suggestions, and you can find one. Here's one with 57,000. Let's see if we do find any more. Pulling up some that are the same. So Easy Elegant Knits, Threads Magazine. Oh, and Sew Daily. Oh, well, let's give these a try. Let's go Threads Magazine. And here we go. I'll take this one. And the other one was Sew Daily. I love that, 29,000. Sew Daily. Daily Sew. Well, I guess that's it. 60,000. It doesn't take me long to get up to 100,000. Now, in regards to the targeting, I'll take a couple of questions before I explain my next step here. Let me see. I've been doing 25 to 44, so thanks. We'll extend to 55. Yeah, excellent. Can you please show us how to use these interests once you've found them? That I will do for you, my friend. Boom. Any thoughts on Teespring's new audience intersects? I've had limited success with it, but some people seem to think that it's really awesome. You know, that's fine. If it works for you, it works. I can seem to get a lot of success with it. Just to go back, how did you target for the CV graphic? Oh, I did the exact same thing. I basically just went in and found people that were Harley Davidson owners, just targeted females aged 35 to 55 who were Harley Davidson owners, and asked them. I figured, you know, if they were the owners, they would give me the best feedback, but you can try some different targeting. And we're going to go into setting up the ad right now. We're going to focus on one area of setting up the ad. Now that we've put together a remarkable audience, we have to determine whether we're after conversions or engagement. If I'm trying to increase my engagement, or if I'm trying to increase my conversions. That we will have to think a little bit about. Do you target females? Oh, let's see. Do you ever include purchase behaviors? No, I never do, but might be a decent idea. I don't know. Do you only target? Purchase behaviors. We don't have a lot of those targeting features in the Canadian version of the Facebook. We don't have the same choices that everyone does in the US, so I've just kept mine very simple. Okay. Do you only target females or choose female-only t-shirts? I primarily sell female t-shirts to females so that they can buy for themselves or one of their friends. If I'm going to release a male's t-shirt, which I try not to do too many of, I would still target the same females. So my main focus is female t-shirts to females. The only time that I do go older than the 55, I do have one audience where I go 50 and over, and that's if I'm targeting grandmothers. Grandma, Nan, Nana. Okay, now normally this is what would happen. We would take this audience when we would say, let's run it. And I'll tell you the problem with running it. It's the equivalent of mountain and valley marketing. If we combine this audience and we run our ad and it's going really great for a week, we're happy, and then sales drop off. How many have had sales going really well and all of a sudden sales just dropped off flat? How many have had that happen? Actually, we have, my screen is full size. I don't know how I could make it any larger. I mean, I could zoom in, I guess, but hopefully you can see it okay. Me all the time, lots, yes. Yeah, the problem that we have is this. If we group these all together, and remember, we do not completely understand, or maybe we understand almost nothing about how Facebook pulls the people from this list that we create. We basically group all of these together and we say, Facebook, send us the ones that are most likely to engage or the ones that are most likely to convert to customers. And Facebook just goes crazy and they start sending you customers. And well, let's think about this, and let's just use this as an example. This could be hypothetical due to the fact that we don't really know. But let's say that Facebook goes through the first list and says, he's after engagement, I'll send him everyone that wants to engage, and they start to send me all the people from this audience that are most likely to engage. And it takes me 3 days to go through this audience and I don't get a sale. Well, chances are I'll probably cancel the ad and say that, I guess selling to the people who knit isn't for me. Or on the other hand, they might send us people from Campaign for Wool and we're selling a whole bunch of shirts for 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 days, and then all of a sudden it just dies, it falls flat. How do we know that they haven't then gone into the Cascade Yarns and sent us people that aren't converting? The danger is this, and I see t-shirt marketers do it all the time. They mix this all together. Their costs go through the roof because some of these will not engage as highly as others. Some of these will engage almost zero. And if Facebook isn't getting the engagement, they're going to raise your cost per engagement. You might have one group here that Facebook says, we're charging you $2 per engagement. But then again, when it comes to Daily Soul, we're only charging you 5 cents. And maybe they come up with an average and say, hey, your average is 35 cents per engagement. We're going to charge you 35 cents per engagement. Now, if I'm getting poor engagement or I'm getting poor conversions from a couple of these groups, why would I have them in my audience? We put them in an audience because we think that these are all the best groups. Here's what I do. Now, I'm not talking, I keep these all separate. I create an ad for each one of these separately. Not in the same ad group, not in the same campaigns, completely separate. Create a brand new ad, keep it completely separate. Don't let Facebook be able to link or join or anything. They have to be separate. Run a $5 budget for all of these. Remember the $5 budget, we're only going to let it run for a few hours, so we're going to use up very little of the $5. Then we're going to be able to determine which group. If we used a conversion pixel and conversions were our goal, we would then be able to see which one was selling the t-shirts and which ones were flat. We would, if we're going after a lot of engagement, because we know the t-shirt's going to sell, it has been selling, and we are after major engagements, it's very easy for us after letting the ad run for a couple hours to determine which ones in here are 5-cent engagements and which is the bandit that's costing us $2 per engagement. The one that's $2, I'm going to get rid of it. The ones that are draining my account, I'm going to get rid of them. Now, here's my rule of thumb. Anything that's under 5 cents per engagement, I'm going to run at a budget of $20 a day. I might end up with 2 of them here. The next one is 6 to 10 cents. I cut it in half. I cut it down to $10 a day. And anything that's running, say, 11 to 15 cents, it might go a little bit higher. Sometimes you pay more to get buyers, but let's say you set the limit at 15 cents. So I've got 2 under 5 cents, 2 that are in the 6 to 10 cents, and maybe 1 that I've kept that is from 11 to 15 cents. The others, I just get rid of them. Now this allows me to put more money into the ads that are performing well. Now I can put more money into the ads that are converting the best or getting the best conversion, or converting or getting the best engagement. Now, if I'm not getting conversions from the others, and that was my goal, I get rid of anything that's not converting. I can then scale this a lot wider by looking for very similar audiences. For example, and I really like to target people who've read, say I'm targeting zombies, The Walking Dead, and I do some t-shirts. I'm going to target people who've read the book or a book or have bought a book. I'm going to target those people because they have a previous physical engagement. When it comes to people who like wine, I'm going to go after the little tiny brands which are probably most likely a buyer's list. They've had a previous physical engagement. They don't just say, oh, I like wine. I drink it every Christmas. Oh, I like wine. I see that in the newsfeed. I click like, oh, I like wine. No, I want the people who like the weird little tiny brands that had a physical engagement with the niche. That's what I really like to target. So if I found a few here that are doing extremely well, I can look for other audiences, go and do a little bit more research, and find some audiences that will expand this out, but do not mix them together. You always have to know which audience is converting, which interest group is converting, which interest group is getting you the best engagement. If you mix these together, You're going to get highs and lows. You're not going to be consistent. Oh, look, I built an audience of 100,000. But 80,000 of those are never going to buy from you. If Facebook is only showing to those 80,000, you're not going to sell any shirts, even though 20,000 here are the perfect audience. I'd rather get rid of 80,000 than say, hey, I have a group of 20,000, but it performs really well. Keep my ad budget low and sell my t-shirts. Very, very simple. You do not need large audiences. I had a really neat little audience. I really liked that audience. It was somewhere around 3,000, and I ended up selling 132 or 134 t-shirts to an audience of around 3,000 people. Okay, I'm going to go and take some questions now, and we will do that for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to wrap it up to keep this call, keep the recording under 1 hour. Okay. I'll just go back up here. Wish I could say I've never tipped. You never tipped a campaign. Well, do some quick targeting. Don't spend a lot of time with it. Spend 10 minutes. Make separate campaigns for these groups. Find out which ones engage and which ones buy. Get rid of the non-performers, and you'll start to tip if you're using Teespring. Okay, I know Mark. I'll ask him tonight. Okay. Can we ask Facebook how they do it? You might want to give that a try. Who knows? Okay, new campaigns per interest. Did you say only run for an hour to get stats? I run mine for 4 hours. Once again, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's when I run my ads. And if I set these all at $5, I'm only going to spend 1/6 of $5. So for each campaign, and here's 8. So it's going to be a total of 1/6 of 40, so it's going to be about $7 in total. And after running it for 4 hours, my total daily spend would have been about $7, but then I'll know which ones to get rid of, and the next day I can start to make some money. Okay, previous physical engagement, yeah, brilliant term, trademark it, yes. I like that. If somebody's been drinking a very specific brand of wine, they're great people to target because they will be very passionate. They bought a little tiny bottle of wine from a very tiny little brewery or winery, and they love that brand of wine. They're very passionate. Remember the big brands, you know, anybody can say I like wine. Anybody can say I like the Dallas Cowboys. Any of those big brands, of course you're going to like them, but does it mean you're ever going to wear a Dallas Cowboys jersey? I love the Cowboys. I'd never in my life wear one of their jerseys, but I still like the Cowboys. I'm a Green Bay fan. I love Green Bay, and I love the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Sooners and Roll Tide because they buy shirts from me, and Texas A&M. I love the Aggies because they buy T-shirts from me. Okay, you said run 10 to 2 Eastern Time. Yes, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Time. That's a total of 4 hours a day, Eastern Time, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's 2 hours before lunch. That's 2 hours after lunch, Eastern Time. Okay, so after testing one interest and it showed 2-cent cost per engagement, for example, do you increase the ad spend on that to $20? Yeah, I increase that one. I'm going to keep it alone. I'm going to keep it separate. I'm going to always keep it separate. I'm going to throw $20 at that one. I love to check to see which ads are converting. I like to boost those up, but I do not go over $20 a day. $20 a day is my limit. I don't go over $20 because I end up losing my efficiency. You write entire new ad copy for each interest. It's all the same ad. Let's try and understand this. It's one post on your fan page. All of these use the same post. That's how we can become very scientific. We use the same post. We just have a bunch of different ads that are targeting different ad groups or interest groups. It's all just one post. We're just seeing which interest group is going to engage with our post. One post and all different ads, different campaigns for each one of these, but they're all using the same fan page and the same post as their image. So I'm not writing any new ad copy. I'm writing 0. How to narrow down the audience for an artist. Say MJ. Let me see, an artist. Whoa, boy, I must be missing it or not getting it. Who is MJ? I'm thinking MJ has always been Michael Jordan to me, but let me see. MJ. How would I narrow down the audience for an artist? Well, I would do a little bit of searching just like I showed. I would just try and find the small pages that draw an interest. They might be new. They might only have 20,000 people. They might have 30,000, 40, 50,000. I just try and find the little tiny pages that still draw an interest category in Facebook. I just look for them until I find them. I spend some time, and that's how I find them. But if somebody can help me out with who MJ is, that would be great. Oh, MJ. Oh, no. Are you not worried about starting ads? I never care about starting and stopping my ads. I run them from 10 a.m. Eastern Time to 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and I've got other things in life to worry about. I just run the ads and sell the t-shirts. That's it. I really like things really simple. That's $20 per ad, right? Yes, that is correct. But remember, it's only the ones that are really performing. I'm not going to spend 20 bucks on one that's not converting. If it's 20 bucks, remember, for 4 hours, I'm only spending a few dollars on that ad. 1/6 is going to cost me 4 bucks. So I'm not the big spender on ads. So what? I don't start and stop, or I don't let them run. I don't worry about it. I just run it during those times. Hit create new at the bottom when done. Yes, you always scroll to the bottom. Phil, I'm just showing you the targeting end here. You go to the bottom, set your budget, and hit create. And then you will always create a new ad, not in the same ad group. Keep it totally separate, like it's a brand new ad. It has nothing to do with any of the other ads. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Had 47.59 click-through rate, $15 budget, many likes, comments, read awesome, love this, 7-cent cost per click, modeled after uber successful pet t-shirt, same design except marketed to another quality passionate pet niche, sad face, no sales. What can I do differently? Well, you know, sometimes if I'm getting a super high engagement, that is, unfortunately, that t-shirt may have exhausted its commercial value. It just may not be there. Come up with, I mean, if everyone is that crazy about things, come up with a new design, a new color. Sometimes I switched a t-shirt from white to black and it started to sell. Sometimes I changed up the graphics, the text, made a slightly different saying on it, a slight modification, and you could be fine. But normally, if you test this out, you're going to find out where your buyers are. You're going to find them. And you should start to sell t-shirts. Okay, so it was Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, okay. MJ, Michael Jackson. Okay. Yeah, some are so popular, you're going to find the fan pages all have like 200,000. For some big, broad niches, you're going to have to look a little bit to get it to the right, to find the smaller pages. Sometimes they just won't even exist. But, you know, we could just go in and check this out. Michael Jackson, let's go and take a look. 79 million people, that's crazy. Hey, here's 1 million people. Okay, let's go and check out this one. Let's try this one. Let's like this one and let's see if it's going to pull up the suggestion pages. This one is not pulling up any suggestions. I'm not sure what's going on there. Let's give this a try. And Michael Jackson. Okay, let's see what this one is all about. Michael Jackson death conspiracies. Hey, perfect. There, look at, I just found an awesome one. Let's see if it exists. Michael Jackson death. MJ death. Ooh, not there. But this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep going here and I'm going to try and find the ones out. The Jackson family dynasty, 67,000. 172,000. These aren't that bad. You know, I'd probably go with some of those to check them out. See if we can find any more. Who's Bad? 240,000. That's getting a little bit high. 229,000. The Jacksons. Memorial in honor of Michael Jackson. Let's just check that one out. Now, anyway, you get the idea. That's what I do. I just go through each one and try and find the pages. And I'll guarantee you, you know, if you struggle with this, get in touch with me on Skype, SpeedyKen1, and I'll just show you how that is. If you need any help, if you want to see some targeting, you can always reach me at, just like that, SpeedyKen1 on Skype, and I'll do my best to help you out. Okay, let's see. Do you increase from 5 to 20 the next day? Yeah, I let it run for 4 hours the first day, make my evaluations, get rid of the duds, get things ready the next day, go to 20 bucks on the good ones. $10 on the second day, 15. I really want to make sure we don't confuse ourselves here. The ones that are getting the super low engagement, just set the spend at $20 a day. Just $20 a day. The ones that are getting maybe 6 to 10 cents per engagement, set them at $10 a day. Just leave them at $10 a day. Those that are costing 11 to 15 cents, just put them at $5 a day. Just leave them at $5 a day. Don't overcomplicate it. The ones that get super engagement, I set them at 20 bucks a day. It has nothing to do with the second day and the third day, and it's just 20 bucks. Is 6,000 people a good audience size? It's a beautiful audience size. It's remarkable. I love that audience size. How do you find an address for people born or lived in a... How do you find an ad address? An ad address for people born or lived in a specific state. I'm not sure what that means. Interest. Oh, how do you find an ad interest? That would be done just through the tool itself. A lot of people will find people who live in Texas, and then they go through very local things in other states. There's a number of ways to do that. Once again, that's going to put us way over the hour if we go into very specifics that aren't really niche related. That's more of demographic targeting. So unfortunately, we just won't have time for that. So you do white shirts. Most do black only. Whatever works for you. If black is good, black is good. White shirts, fantastic. Whatever sells, it's going to depend on the t-shirt. If it's a badass t-shirt, you probably want it in black. If it's a I'm a super happy grandma, she probably wants it in white with pink and black and, you know, girly, flowery stuff. Let's see. Do you go and unlike the pages? Yeah, I go and unlike the pages. I really have no interest in following the knitting pages. Why is it when I post my shirt with no Teespring link, I get a lot of engagement, and when I have the Teespring link in my page post engagement, it doesn't get as much traffic? Well, that could just be because Facebook hates Teespring. Boom, Michael Jackson is on. I'm designing now. Yeah, there you go. Could do an autobiography page for Michael Jordan. A book reader should be passionate. Yes, exactly. Now, let's see. Guttural, thanks for the webinar. Where do you get your inspirations and how many designs do you throw out per day? I'm not the big designer guy who's putting out 30 designs a day or 100 designs. I've got the same designs, been running for 15 months. I'm not a creative soul. I try and find my inspiration from, you know, I came up with a really funny one. I saw it on a sign, and let me see if I can find it here. There, this one right here. This one was good. Is there life after death? Touch my grandkids and you'll soon find out. I actually saw a sign that said, is there life after death? Trespass and you'll soon find out. So I took it and I put it on a shirt, and I thought about this and I thought, hey, this is great. Is there life after death? Touch my daughter and you'll soon find out. Touch my 67 Mustang, you'll soon find out, because I could target people with 67 Mustang. Is there life after death? Touch my mountain bike and you'll soon find out. Touch my surfboard, you'll soon find out. Touch my whatever, you'll soon find out. How much, let's see. So where do I get my inspirations from? The Real World, Teespring, bumper stickers. I love bumper stickers because how much text can you fit on a bumper sticker? About as much as you want to put on a t-shirt. I have hired designer on the payroll. Please tell good market cost. Thank you. It really depends. My graphic artist, not the one that did this shirt, but my main graphic artist worked for Disney for a number of years, and for 10 years, I believe, and he was Disney's top designer, and he does some pretty amazing work. But then again, the price is rather expensive. You know, Odesk, Freelancer, Fiverr. One of the big things is you've got to be able to source a designer. How much did you make during your 15 months of making t-shirts? Well, I'll tell you that the most that I've made was about 70 grand in a week. So that's the most I've made. Now, some weeks I made zero because I was actually doing some other things. So how much did I make? Anywhere in between $0 and $1 million. I made anywhere in between that much. Interesting landing page, not Teespring. You can use any page that whoever your provider is. If you want to know, if you need a platform to sell, you need to get in touch with my friend Matt Edmonds. And if you send me a contact request on Skype, I'll hook you up with a man who can get you on a platform to sell t-shirts outside of Teespring. He will take care of you. Is there any, let's see, is there any way to target the pages, category, community? I would think clothing would be ideal, or the pages category, not sure. Example, community. I would think clothing would be ideal for some shopping options. I really don't know there. Just sort of what I was showing, just go and find the specific pages and run the ad and Find out which ones, which ads are working and which audiences are duds. Did you ever do age or name campaigns or still do? That I'm not going to discuss on this call. Yeah, well, I will tell you that I did a lot of age and name campaigns. Do I still do it? I'm not going to say on this call. Hope you make 140 grand a week. Can you elaborate about the landing page? If you want a good landing page, talk with Matt Edmonds. I will hook you up with Matt. He is the man, and he will give you a free landing page. Oh, I don't know if it's free. I don't even know if he charges, but anyway, Matt will take care of you. Let's see. Loved your answer. Thank you. Have a great night. Okay, Matt is here. Matt is here, and Matt says he will hook you up with a free landing page, a free platform that looks nothing like this, or maybe it's very similar. I'm not sure what. I think you can make custom pages with Matt's platform. Anyway, Matt will take care of you with a free platform. Use my targeting methods and commercial value thing, and use his platform and make yourself rich. Will t-shirts become a saturated market? 99% of everyone on this call right now is wearing a t-shirt. T-shirts will stop selling when people stop wearing them. And I know that you're wearing a t-shirt right now. So when you decide to go shirtless, that's probably when the t-shirt market is going to get saturated. Okay, is there a link for Matt? Let's see, contact me on Skype and I'll give you the link. I'm running a little bit late here. We've been over an hour. Remember, Speedy Ken 1 on Skype. And if you need to get in touch with a conversion pixel expert, you can get in touch with me and I will put you in touch with my good friend Yoel Cohen. And Yoel is the conversion pixel expert. I like that crazy character. He's a haywire individual, but I like him a lot. Yoel Cohen will take care of you. The guy is the master of setting up pixels, sneaky, crafty, clever pixels. His name is Yoel Cohen. And if you get in touch with me, I'll hook you up with him. I won't even tell him I'm sending you over there. We'll just surprise him. Anyway, Yoel is a fantastic guy. Yoel Cohen. Just the way it sounds, Y-O-E-L, Cohen, C-O-H-E-N. He is living in Israel. I love that character. He is an awesome guy, and he is an expert. He is the expert when it comes to conversion pixels. And maybe I'll even twist his arm and get him on a call this week and we'll do a quick recording. But that might really help you out, having somebody that is an expert. I'm good enough at it, but I mean, that guy he lives and breathes conversion pixel tracking and amazing stuff. Anyway, thanks for being here and have a great night. Remember, I'm on Skype, Speedy Ken 1. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon.